Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Poornima. You're watching my musings. If you follow me on Instagram, you must be knowing that Meher completed her 6 months recently, and so we started her food journey. And since it is a very special occasion for baby as well as parents, हम चाहते थे कि हम पहले मंदिर जाएं, थोड़ी सी उसको वहाँ पे उसको कुछ खिलाए पिलाएं, and then later on हम लोग उसकी food journey start करें. We went to the मंदिर नीचे ही अपनी सोसाइटी में, and वहाँ पे पंडित जी ने उसकी थोड़ी सी पूजा करी. एंड मैंने खीर बनाई फॉर द वेरी फर्स्ट टाइम इन माई लाइफ ऑन दिस स्पेशल डे. एंड मैंने उसको बहुत थोड़ी सी चखाई खीर बिकॉज इट वॉज मीठा. द फर्स्ट थिंग दैट वी गेव हर वॉज सेरेलैक बिकॉज दैट इज़ द सेफेस्ट ऑप्शन फॉर अ बेबी टू स्टार्ट द सॉलिड्स. एंड देन नाउ वी आर ऑन टू हर फूड जर्नी एंड शी इज़ ऑल्सो टेकिंग वाटर नाउ बिकॉज अब थोड़ी थोड़ी गर्मी आ रही है. हालांकि दिल्ली एनसीआर में अभी इस टाइम पे मौसम बहुत ही सुहावना है, रोज़ बारिश हो रही है. वेदर इज़ little ठंडा, but going on it's going to be very garmi. So I have started water, she has started her food, her solids, her semi solids. So this phase of life is very important, very crucial, not just for baby but for parents also. And I know there are a lot of parents out there who must be wondering कि हम कैसे food introduce करें अपने baby को, how should we start, what should we give, when should we give, what not to give. So मैंने सोचा why not make a video out of it. So this video is going to help all the parents out there जिनके babies are of 6 months age and they are set to begin with their food journeys. I am going to talk about a lot of things like what to give, what not to give, what are the tips that you can follow, what are the things that you can do to make this journey very beautiful and very healthy. So I hope this video is going to be a help to a lot of parents out there. But still I want to just put it out that ये जो video है, it is based on the information which is through my research, which is through my experience of raising 2 kids. One is 5-year-old and one is just 6 months. तो मेरे अपने experience से, अपने research से, और जो भी मुझे मेरे डॉक्टर ने suggestions दिए, जो भी advices दिए, so this whole information is based on all these things. So I hope that I know that this is going to be a help to a lot of parents out there, but still I would recommend कि अगर आप कुछ भी follow करना चाहो अपने बच्चों के लिए, first always consult your pediatrician, take advice from your doctor, and then take a decision what you want to do for your child. So yeah, on that note, let's begin the video. So to start with, I am going to talk about 6 things that you should keep in mind, that you must know when you are starting food to your 6-month-old. So the first thing is that a lot of times what mothers do is, क्योंकि इस टाइम पे our baby is only on milk, तो हम लोग क्या करते हैं, जब भी हम खाना शुरू करते हैं, food शुरू करते हैं, so we try to give that food in the form of liquid only. So a lot of mothers they try to give apple puree, दाल का पानी, rice water. I know this is like very age old tradition and this is good for your baby also, but what my doctor suggested during the time of Pihu, and I am so relieved that I listened to him, that today I don't have any problem. I don't have to run after Pihu to feed food, and she eats everything. So ये उसी से हुआ है क्योंकि मैंने अपनी डॉक्टर की एडवाइस फॉलो करी थी, and he told me not to give food in puree or liquid form. Instead of purees, we should give food in semi-solid or pasty form. Semi-solid, yes, you should be careful because इस टाइम पे दांत नहीं होते बच्चों के, so there can be chances of choking. But obviously, when we feed food, we are there around the child. The child is not alone. So the best way to start food is giving the food in a pasty form, which is not very runny, which is not liquid, because at this stage you want your child to learn chewing, how to chew the food, so that आगे आने वाले टाइम पे बच्चों के पीछे मम्मियों को भागना ना पड़े कि चबा लो और खा लो. There are a lot of children जो कि जिनको chewing की habit नहीं होती है, and वो मुंह में अपना खाना लेके बैठे रहते हैं, and then mothers are after their kids that chew the food. सो ये गलती आप भी मत करना. आप बिल्कुल लिक्विड फॉर्म में फूड मत इंट्रोड्यूस करना. गिव पेस्टी फॉर्म ऑफ फूड, जिससे थोड़ा सा बच्चे को च्यू की आदत पड़े, लाइक this movement is required because अभी तक पीना आता है बेबी को, the child has been drinking milk, so पीना is familiar to the kid and the kid knows how to drink. What we now have to teach the kid is how to chew the food. So the first tip that I really want to share with you all, with all the mothers out there or with all the parents out there, if you're starting food to your child, don't give liquid, try to give pasty form of food, and then you're going to thank me later for that. सेकेंड, नए नए फूड जब हम इंट्रोड्यूस कर रहे होते हैं अपने बच्चों को, सो बहुत हम इनफैक्ट हमारी मॉम्स ने भी हमें खिलवाया दैट वी ट्राई टू गिव बिस्किट्स मिक्स्ड इन मिल्क एंड शुगर. वो काफ़ी बच्चों को मॉम्स देती हैं. इनफैक्ट मुझे भी दिया है मेरी मॉम ने, बट दैट वाज अ वेरी एज ओल्ड ट्रेडिशन. यू शुड अवॉइड गिविंग बिस्किट्स मिक्स्ड इन मिल्क टू योर किड्स. वाई? I am going to talk about it later in the video, so stay tuned. But abhi ke liye the next tip is avoid giving biscuits mixed in sugar and milk to your baby when you're just started to introduce food to your baby. Third thing, very important thing that you have to keep in mind is although the baby has started eating food, but the prime source of nutrition for a 6-month-old is still milk. So yes, we are giving food for extra nutrition, for extra demand of the body because the baby is growing very quickly now. But don't forget, जो main source है ना बच्चों की energy और nutrition का, वो अभी भी milk ही है. Keep giving milk. Consider it as the prime nutrition source and start giving food as a supplement to your baby. Fourth point that you should always keep in mind when you are starting food is please include fruits. You can include mashed bananas, you can introduce mashed apples. मतलब कुछ भी जो भी seasonal fruit है जो कि आपके बच्चे के लिए light है tummy पे, वो आप इंट्रोड्यूस करो बिकॉज द रिसर्च हैज़ प्रूवन द फैक्ट दैट डाइटरी हैबिट्स एंड फूड हैबिट्स डिवेलप फ्रॉम द टाइम ऑफ इन्फेंसी. सो अगर आप इस टाइम पे बच्चे को फ्रूट्स शुरू कर दोगे, योर चाइल्ड इज़ गोइंग टू ईट फ्रूट्स हैप्पीली इन द लेटर स्टेजेस ऑफ लाइफ एंड देन यू विल नॉट हैव टू स्ट्रगल फीडिंग फ्रूट्स टू योर बेबी. सो इफ यू हैव स्टार्टेड गिविंग फूड, ट्राई टू इंक्लूड फ्रूट्स सो दैट लेटर ऑन योर बेबी हैज़ द हैबिट ऑफ ईटिंग फ्रूट्स ऑन डेली बेसिस. Point that you should keep in mind, which is very important, is that take it easy. It is something which is new for you as parents. It is something which is new for your baby also. Give your baby some time to accept the new routine. So don't panic if your baby is not accepting food initially. It's always good to stick to a routine. You can start feeding your baby in the mornings and the evenings, and then in between you can give some snack or milk is there for your baby. But अगर आप कोई routine follow नहीं कर पा रहे हो तो it's fine. Take a chill pill. Don't get paranoid कि your baby is not eating. Give time. Try to stick to a routine. But अगर नहीं हो पा रहा है तो you can feed your child anytime. If you see that your baby is hungry, if you see that baby is wanting to have something, उस टाइम पे आप अपने बेबी को फीड कर सकते हो. सो ये पूरा एक जो खाने का प्रोसीजर होता है ना, दैट शुड बी हैप्पी टाइम फॉर योर किड एंड फॉर यू ऑल्सो. सो टेक इट ईजी. Give time to yourself, give time to your baby, and just enjoy the process. Next, and the very important thing that I want to share is from my own experience and what my doctor has suggested, and also what the research says is कि जब भी आप feed करो baby को तो first give milk to your baby and then start giving food उसके बाद. So while you're giving milk, keep some room for the solids, keep some room for the food for your baby, and then milk के बाद आप उसको कुछ खिला दो and then finish the meal again with the milk. So that completes the whole process. So like if your baby is hungry and is crying, सबसे पहले आप उसको जाके milk दो, उसको soothe करो and then आप उसको खाना दो. Because what happens is if your baby is crying, then obviously the baby is looking for milk. अगर आप उस टाइम पे उसको खाना खिला दोगे तो your baby will start crying even more because that is something which is new for your baby and the baby is not used to that process. तो पहले आप उसको soothe कर दो. Give milk first, little bit of milk. Keep room for the food and then finish it off with the rest of the milk. जो भी milk आपका बच गया है उससे आप उसको complete कर दो. That way the process will be smooth, your baby will be full and your baby will enjoy the process. These are few points that I wanted to share which are out of my own experience and out of what my doctor has suggested me that I wanted to share. I hope these were like help to you. Now let's talk about food that you should not give to your baby, to your 6-month-old when you're starting the food journey. Honey. येस, आई नो इंडिया में ट्रेडिशन है हनी देने का बच्चों को, दैट्स समथिंग दैट यू कांट अवॉइड, बट अगर आप अपनी बच्चे का खाना पीना शुरू कर रहे हो तो उस टाइम पे हनी मत दो. हनी इज़ नॉट सजेस्टेड till the baby turns 1 because it can cause botulism. Now what is botulism? It is a very tricky situation. It is even life threatening situation. आप detail में you can always google it. I'm not going to talk about it here because बहुत लंबी हो जाएगी वीडियो, so you can always google what is botulism. but ये मुझे मेरे डॉक्टर ने भी सजेस्ट किया था that don't give honey to your baby at the age of 6 months. सेकेंड मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट जो काफ़ी इंडियन मॉम्स फॉलो करती है, प्लीज़ स्टॉप गिविंग शुगर टू योर बेबी एट द एज ऑफ 6 months. आई नो हम लोग मीठा खिलाते हैं, देन बहुत सारे घरों में ऐसा होता है कि खीर बना दी. मैंने भी खीर बनाई थी एज आई टोल्ड यू, बट मैंने बिल्कुल इतनी सी दी थी. आई डिड नॉट गिव हर, आई फेड हर सेरेलैक. तो बहुत सारे घरों में नेस्टम होता है जो मैंने भी बहुत खाया है बिस्किट्स में, एंड दैट इज़ द रीज़न आई टोल्ड यू दैट डोंट गिव बिस्किट्स बिकॉज दैट इज़ टू शुगरी. इससे होता क्या है कि आपका जो बेबी का पैलेट है वो शुगर का ही बन जाएगा. योर बेबी विल स्टार्ट लाइकिंग शुगर अ लॉट एंड देन इन द लेटर स्टेजेस ऑफ लाइफ वो जो पैलेट है वो ऐसा हो जाएगा, योर शुगर इनटेक ऑफ योर चाइल्ड विल इंक्रीज. सो दैट ऑब्वियसली यू डोंट वांट, दैट कैन गिव rise to a lot of health issues. So to avoid that, decrease the sugar intake. In fact, doctors say and research says that you should not give sugar to your 6-month-old. You should always start sugar after your baby turns 1. थर्ड, अगेन जो बहुत कॉमन है इंडियन हाउस होल्ड्स में बच्चों को देते हैं एट द एज ऑफ 6 months, बट यू शुड नॉट इंट्रोड्यूस काउ मिल्क एट द एज ऑफ 6 months. इट कैन कॉज इंडाइजेशन टू योर किड बिकॉज आपके किड का जो डाइजेशन प्रोसेस है वो इतना स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं हुआ है. सो अवॉइड काउ मिल्क, स्टिक टू ब्रेस्ट फीड और फॉर्मूला दैट यू हैव बीन यूजिंग सो फार, एंड लेटर ऑन व्हेन योर बेबी गेट्स एडवांस्ड विद ऑल द सॉलिड्स, उनका डाइजेशन और थोड़ा स्ट्रॉन्ग हो जाए, देन ऑब्वियसली यू कैन इंट्रोड्यूस काउ मिल्क लाइक after 1 year, but at the age of 6 months, avoid cow milk. Next food item that you should definitely avoid during this age of 6 months is eggs and berries, because these again can cause indigestion, can cause allergies. Your baby's digestion is not so strong to digest eggs and berries, so avoid these. Then very hard pieces you should always avoid. like अगर आप एप्पल दे रहे हो तो बॉइल्ड एप्पल दे सकते हो, प्यूरे फॉर्म में नहीं, बिल्कुल सॉफ्ट फॉर्म में जो कि पेस्ट फॉर्म में हो वो दे सकते हो. बड़े बड़े चंक्स मत दे दो एप्पल के, या छोटे चंक्स मत दे दो जो कि आपके बच्चे के गले में जाके फंस सकते हैं एंड देन दे कैन कॉज चोकिंग. सो कीप दिस इन माइंड. डोंट गिव ह्यूज और वेरी स्मॉल चंक्स, very hard chunks that can block the throat and can cause choking. So these are the foods that you should definitely avoid to give to your 6 months. And lastly, I would like to talk about few more tips that would definitely help you make this whole process very enjoyable for you as well as for your kid. So सबसे पहले feed your child in the upright position, in the sitting position. आप या तो feeding chair ले लो या फिर अपनी गोदी में बिठा लो या किसी भी chair पे बेल्ट बांध के उसको बिठा के मतलब अपने बेबी को खाना खिलाओ. Never feed your baby while lying because obviously it can get stuck here and obviously it can cause choking. हम भी खाना खाते हैं बैठ के ही खाते हैं, तो अपने बच्चे को हमेशा बैठ के खाना खिलाओ, कभी भी लेट के या थोड़ा सा लिटा के. नेवर एवर डू दैट. Next, always don't force feed your baby. This is something that I'm going to apply on myself also during the time of मेहर, because पीहू के टाइम पे मैं ये कोशिश करती थी कि जितना मैंने प्लेट में लिया है I should feed her, she should finish her plate. But उस टाइम में मुझे ये कॉन्सेप्ट पता नहीं था कि never force feed the baby can cause a negative relationship between food and the baby. However, touch wood, पीहू के साथ ऐसा नहीं हुआ. I used to force feed her, but she loves her food, but this can happen. So agar aapka bacha is not opening the mouth, don't force feed the spoon inside his or her mouth. That means the baby is not ready. Try कि अगर आप spoon को उसकी lips पे लगाओ, food को लगाओ उसकी lips पे, तो जब 6 month old आपका तो अपने थोड़े lips suck करेगा, tongue लगाएगा, तब उसको थोड़ा taste आएगा, and then the baby opens the mouth and then you can feed the baby. So this is basically the right way. कभी भी आप forcefully feed मत करो अपने बच्चे को, because this whole feeding का process should be happy and pleasant for you and for your baby. It should not make the baby uncomfortable. कि next time पे जब आप खाना खिलाने आओ बेबी को, तो baby should be scared and should be uncomfortable and should cry and should not want to eat. That you obviously don't want. तो इसलिए don't never force feed your baby. जितना बच्चा खा रहा है, खुश होकर खा रहा है, उतना खिलाओ. अगर बच्चा is not wanting to eat more, don't feed, just stop it, and the next time when the baby is hungry, you can just complete the meal then. So this is something which I'm applying on myself also, and I'm really glad that Meher is responding positively to whatever I feed to her. नेक्स्ट पॉइंट विच आई फील इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कि आप एक प्रॉपर प्लेट बनाओ अपने बच्चे के लिए व्हेन योर बेबी इज़ यूज टू द फीडिंग स्केड्यूल। उस टाइम पे आप प्रॉपर एक प्लेट लगाओ बेबी की, सो दैट योर बेबी नोज़ कि ठीक है ऐसे प्रॉपर प्लेट में खाना लेके खाते हैं, उसका जो एक हैबिट है वो फॉर्म होगी। द बेबी विल स्टिक टू दैट हैबिट, एंड दीज आर लाइक dining habits, good dining habits that you want to inculcate in your child. So ये मेरी mom भी मुझे हमेशा से बोलती थी that make a proper plate for your baby that inculcates a good food eating habit in your child since the early days. Lastly, very important point that I feel is very important is that try eating as a family together. Now baby mimics their parents, so अगर आप अच्छे से खाओगे बेबी के सामने बैठ के, your baby will also mimic you, and your baby will automatically start taking interest in eating and feeding. So that ways I think it helps in a child's development, helps in family bonding also. Whole family has a good eating time, has a good bonding time. So yeah, a family who eats together stays together. So yeah, try to eat together as a family, and that is going to help you and your baby in a lot ways. So yeah, that was it. These are few points that I wanted to share regarding feeding for your baby. So if you're somebody who is starting the journey, who is starting to feed your 6-month-old, I hope this video was useful to you. I hope आपको छोटे मोटे points पता चले होंगे कि आप क्या खिला सकते हो, क्या नहीं खिला सकते हो, कैसे खिला सकते हो, which will make your journey easier and beautiful. And again, अगर आप कुछ भी decision लेना चाहते हो, पहले I would suggest कि आप डॉक्टर को consult कर लो and then start the process. So on that note, I will end this video today. I hope you liked it. If you liked, do give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'll be back super soon with my next video. Till then, goodbye, take care, and keep smiling.